My hair is a fucking cloud today. I like how this happens after a silk press because I'm on that Erykah Badu shit. Fuck her though, but that's just my opinion. I don't like Bill Cosby and R. Kelly supporters. Anyway, just to get it quick. Sorry, let me actually fix this up a little bit. One second. I fucking hate how people get about abusive relationships, especially if you're a woman, because what they do is they'll always be like, oh my god, why'd you leave that guy over like the smallest thing possible? You should give him another fucking chance. Like, come on, everyone is ignorant. Everyone has flaws. Think about how he feels. He's so sad. Look at him. And it's just like the most like sobbing piece of shit ever who has like no remorse over his feelings but just wants to be forgiven. Or he'll claim he'll change until you're like, okay, it's one small thing. I can get over this. Then more shit happens, like more passive-aggressive, condescending, red flaggy ass shit. And then people are like, oh wow, well, you know, you gotta really stick by him. Like, really, he's a young man. Just stick through the change, stick through the change, stick through the cycles. And then you stick through the change. And then does he change? No! You're sticking through shit! You're sticking through tons and tons of shit that's not benefiting you. And then when you know, sadly, sometimes they go back and forth. They can do shit that does seem like substantial change or even minimal change, so you get your hopes up. Love bombing, gaslighting, all that shit can fuck you over. They start breadcrumbing you. They start using weaponized incompetence. Sometimes they can even just start getting emotionally degrading and abusive, like straight out. But you think, oh, he has his good elements, and everyone keeps telling me that he's a good guy, and I see the good portions in him, maybe I should stick through this. But then you stick through it too long, and then next thing you know, physical violence, financial abuse, baby trapping, on and on and on and on and on. Bad shit. And then people will see you in a fucked up situation and be like, oh my god, why didn't she see all the red flags? Or, oh wow, if you don't like him, just leave. No one's asking you to stay. Funny enough, if you actually do bother to fucking leave before it even gets too bad, like when it's just the right amount of bad, where you're like, this is not bringing me joy, and I don't want to have to be pregnant or abused just to leave this man. Like, we're at the right level of red flags. You could fucking dip, and then suddenly everyone's like, oh, why don't you get back with him? You're being such a bitch right now. Oh my god. You're so dramatic. Just stay with him. You love him. You've been together forever type shit. This goes for, like, most genders, but I'm gonna be honest, it does happen, like, a lot with men. Like, I'm not saying there's not abusive women. There are. Trust me. Why do you think I have fucking mommy issues? But that was drilled into me from such a young age, whether it was like, oh, I'm in like fucking kindergarten or preschool and I want to stop being friends with this boy who called me a stupid head and said I was an idiot. And then I would always have him crying and whining to the teacher as the teacher begs me over and over and over, no matter how many times I say I do not want to be his friend. I do not want to interact with him. Well, okay, I wouldn't say interact because I was like a kid. But you know, I just don't want to be his friend. Leave me alone. She would keep being like, oh, sweetie, you don't know what you want. Come on, think about it. Don't you like... You're such good friends. You should tolerate it, and then guess what? It would be a cycle of bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. He was a nice enough kid, but still that fucked me up for ages. Along with people, whenever I would be like, oh, hey, I'm being bullied in the fucking 4th grade. This kid is kicking my shins so hard under the desk that I have tons of bruises under my legs. He will not stop calling me ugly, stupid, and a fucking idiot. He literally just gets off on tormenting me and is rallying other boy classmates against me. And then my mom, her whore ass, and then my stupid ass teacher, Monica May, if you see this bitch, fuck you, kill yourself. They were like, oh, sweetie, have you ever considered that he just has a crush on you? No, bitch! Even if he does, you should be going to him and being like, oh, hey, if you think that little girl is cute, you be her friend. You don't kick her. You don't mistreat her. But no, it's got to be my fucking problem. It's just like, oh, tolerate it. He has a crush on you. I can't focus on every student in the class's problems. If I could just teach you and care about only you, I would. But I have everyone else to care about. While ironically only giving a shit about that one little boy. Because, ooh, he's already been held back before. You gotta sympathize. I'm not sympathizing shit. Fuck Robert to this day. I hope he's grown and changed as a person, but he was a little fuck-ass nigga. I don't give a fuck if he was 10. Oh, actually, no, because if I was, let's see, I was 9, and he was held back like once or twice. I don't know, just too damn old for that shit, really. And then in high school, I had this abusive on and off relationship, and it would be so funny, because my teacher at Skyline High School, Courteny Gumora, I have so much evidence of this, from screenshots to everything. I will happily post all of it, because fuck this whore. She would be like, oh, yeah, I know Zach tried to leak your nudes and is spreading sexual rumors about you and will not stop yelling with his friends, calling you a bitch across the classroom because you broke up with him. But have you ever considered, like, you know, shutting the fuck up about it? Like, no one cares. She just would not stop. Ooh, 1 second. She would not stop being on that, oh, well, think about it. Like, Just ignore him. God, because she just didn't want to be ignored or annoyed because she had so many emails to focus on. She was always sending emails but never actually doing shit for the kids in special ed. That's why so many of them are fucked up even after high school, but that's another video for another day. And I was always made to put men's feelings above my own, which is the most vile, disgusting shit ever. And then guess what? If I got back with him, and because, you know, it would basically be like, hey, are you going to be horrendously bullied and abused? Or do you want to date him and lessen that and still have, like, bullshit from him? But at least he's not actively targeting you and making your life hell. He's making your life hell, but at least not with, like, all his comrades. You know, he basically weaponized his friends against me to basically harass me into submission. Not very fun. And then the whole time I was upset about that relationship, she would just act like I was the dramatic one, because it's like, oh, suddenly I'm the bad guy if I tell him to go fuck himself for trying to leak my nudes and spread sexual rumors around and being mad at me for breaking up with him for trying to cheat on me. Suddenly I'm the bad guy. But oh, the guy who tried to cheat on me, the guy who tried to leak my nudes and claimed that I ate his ass, and I say, also, I'm gonna say it, that's a weird rumor to spread. Why are you, as a straight man, telling your homies just for fun, yeah, to me I ate my ass? I'm not saying sex with a woman is gay, but I'm saying it's gay to try to impress your friends by telling them fictional stories of getting your moon she ate because you want to impress them. That's the gay part. Nothing's wrong with being gay, Zachary Bond. Come out the closet, sweetie. Oh, and then guess what? I would leave him because the teacher would be like, oh, just leave him if you have such a fucking issue. I would leave him, and then she'd be all shocked Pikachu face on some, oh my god, have you considered talking to Zach again? He really, he feels really bad. He won't apologize, but you should just make the first move. He's nervous. No, the fuck he wasn't. He just didn't want to apologize, but wanted me back because he wanted free access to nudes and to freely mistreat me to make up for his low self-esteem and masculinity shit. That's not my problem. And then as he bullied me still out of the relationship, I thought, well, at least I can get bullied and harassed while also not giving him any sort of sexual gratification or attention. That felt nice. And he was obsessed with me for fucking years. Even to this day, he and his ex, like his little homies from high school, still on some weak shit. It's so fucking pathetic. Like, unrelated, but my hair looks like so fucking nice. I know, I gotta clean this mirror. I'm doing room cleaning right now. I'm just taking an intermission. Look at that volume. Damn, shawty. I always had to prioritize that fuck nigga's feelings and shit. And then guess what? Like, she kept being all, oh, if he depresses you so much, just leave. We don't care about your issues. Stop talking about them. Okay, I stopped talking about them. I separated myself from the situation. I skipped that class because it wasn't important or affecting any of my other grades. I focused on myself. I got new men to, like, see casually. Well, boys, because I was in high school. Oh, well, and then later on, men. It's just, I'm not telling you about statutory right now. Let's focus on the topic. And I would tell... Ooh, I just minded my business. In that good Cesar song, I was like, I be looking good, I be feeling nice, working on my oar, cleaning up. Like, that's how I was doing. I was getting good. My skin was getting better. My looks was getting better. I was having so many friends. I was smiling just because I wanted to smile. And I was not stressed out by that ugly-ass, fuck-ass, punk-ass, scrawny-ass nigga. And it felt good. It felt wonderful. But then guess what? She, every single summer like clockwork, the second the school year ended, she would try to be like, oh, have you ever considered talking to Zachary again? Think about it. Like, his friends were the bad influence, not him. You should really, like, try talking to him again. I think that would really do me a favor, like, to keep peace. Oh, you want to talk to me about keeping the peace by going back to that fuck nigga when that would literally cause disruption versus just telling that nigga don't fuck with to me anymore because always some shit happens between y'all that I don't care about. Oh, she was a weird ass bitch. And then I would ignore her message. And then she would just keep messaging me for fucking days, sometimes weeks. And it's like, I'm going to say it. If you're a woman in your 50s and 60s or however, she was old as shit. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Not to be disrespectful. Old people are nice. But as a grown woman, like triple or quadruple the age of these minors, the weirdest thing you can do is pressure a young lady to get into a fucking relationship with one of your students. Because she didn't want to work on his IEP and his depression and his anxiety. She loved using me because he knew he had feelings for me. And so she could, manipulate him using me. That's a long story in itself. But let's just say she knew the power of a pretty girl. And also she just wanted to blame me for his issues instead of admitting that she was not a good teacher. It was so... To sum it up, because this video is getting long, also, aside from the summer, sometimes I could just be in class just like, everything's going good, grades are well, I'm dressing nice, and then I'd come into the special ed class and she'd be on some, hey, Tamia, have you ever considered talking to Zachary again? And I remember the day that I yelled at her was so cathartic. I said, no, Gumora. No. Stop asking me that. You ask me this every time. You always say, every single time, like clockwork. If you don't like Zachary, don't ignore him. Ignore what he says. Ignore him calling you a bitch. Just don't deal with him. Don't bother with him. Leave him if it fucks you up so bad. And then I did. And now you're trying to bring me back to him? That doesn't make any sense. I'm perfectly okay. I'm perfectly okay with being okay. I'm fine with being fine. I don't need any other bullshit. And I forget, I think another teacher in the class, I forget if it was that a specific moment, but I think he overheard that rant and he was proud of me because he knew that I struggled with that, and I think he was like, I'm going to get you one of my cool special, okay, this is going to sound creepy. He got me like this nice limited edition drink and congratulated me for standing up for her, at least if my memory serves me right. That was a teacher who had like not as much power to change. He still could have done a lot more, but like he still did what he could, I feel. Well, no, he didn't do enough, yeah. But he did more than more, and that's important. And it was just so surreal. And then, funny enough, after graduation happened, senior year, we graduated, graduation was going, Zachary was going to graduation. They were like, hey, Tamia, can you watch Zach's jacket? And I pretended that I was going to be on good terms with Zachary and talk to him once the summer ended. Fuck no. I spat a loogie in his jacket. Multiple, actually, if I recall correctly. And I just gave it to him when he came back for it later. Because fuck Zachary. He ruined my high school experience. Fuck that shit. Alright, this video is long enough. I'll just say, that shit is traumatizing. And no offense, it's no wonder, like, I still struggle to leave relationships to this day. Because it's like, already it's like an autism issue of, oh, are these red flags or are these pink ones? I can't tell. Because pink is so cute. But red is bad, and I can't tell. I'm just going to keep collecting flags and hope that I can figure out which color they are eventually. That's how autism filters out the bad for me. But then aside from that, it's also years and years and years of everyone just deciding, I'm going to prioritize a man over this girl who I actually fucking know. And that fucked me up. Especially even years after, I could tell people about what happened to me in high school, and I could have, I was 18 telling, like, this man who was almost 30 about my experience with Zachary, and then he, despite not even knowing Zachary at all, past like one sentence, was like, oh, he's just a kid. He's just a boy. You gotta forgive him. And it's like, oh, so you'll forgive Zachary trying to revenge porn me, spreading around rumors, calling me a slut, bitch, whore every day for like 3 years, and like manipulating the shit out of me. But, oh, when I say, oh, yeah, and as revenge, I just kind of had a summer where I used Zachary for money. Like, just made him buy me shit. Suddenly, I'm 10 times worse. That says a lot about you as a person, really. If you can just go, oh, this girl making the guy pay for her food and sometimes movie tickets is ultimately much worse than actual sex crimes, then you should kill yourself. But that's just me. Anyway, I just hate that there's a culture of, like, men prioritizing, well, just everyone prioritizing men above all. That shit disgusts me. I think it's vile and stupid and fucking... I don't want to say the R word, but you know what I'm thinking. That's all. Thanks. If you are watching this video and made it to the end, just note to yourself, if you're a woman, your opinions matter, you are valued, you are loved, and I'm sorry that anyone ever fucking hurt you. And also, yes, you can leave that guy over any petty reason you want, and you don't have to validate it to him or anyone else, because frankly, there's too many people who overlook red flags in men, and the next thing you know, you're dating a drug dealer with 6 baby mamas, and you're like, oh. But everyone said I should give him a chance, because he seems sweet. But then they'll abandon you the second bad shit actually starts happening. Because they just prioritize that man getting some pussy over, like, your actual life source. Anyway, that's all. I love you, babies. Peace out.